All right, class, this is an explanation. How to explain a fraction divided by a whole number. Remember that we are not just looking for the answer, but for an explanation. So make sure that you are carefully listening to my words. And here's my hint. Always imagine what one whole looks like. That is the entire trick. It's basically the sentence. A fraction is a size so small it takes blank copies to make a whole. Here is our first example. A sixth divided by 2. All right, so I picture a certain amount of cake, a sixth. What does a sixth mean? It means it takes 6 copies to make a whole. It's so small, a size so small. We need 6 copies to make a whole. So when you are looking at this word, sixth, you need to imagine first an amount, then you need to imagine a whole. All right, here is my cake pan. So I have a sixth because it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies to make a whole, but I only have one of them. I have a sixth. And then I have to divide it in 2 and find the new size. Okay, well, if I divide it in 2, what is the size of this new piece? This new piece is just this piece right here. And how I find the size is, again, I imagine the whole. So you imagine like a big cake pan, most of it empty. And now you only have this piece. So it's as if this went away, right? How many of these, this new piece, would it take to fill up the hole? Well, it took 6 of the old one. So it's got to take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of the new one. It takes 12 of these pieces to make a whole. What's that? That's the definition of a 12th. So a sixth divided by 2 is a 12th. Again, not just getting the answer, but also being able to explain it. Here's the second example. A third divided by 3. As soon as you see a third, you think about an amount. Here's an amount of pretend cake. But you also must think about the whole. You have to either draw it or imagine in your mind the entire cake pan, the whole. This is how big the whole has to be because I need 1, 2, 3 copies to make a whole. Now I'm going to divide it into 3. So I divide it into 3 equal pieces. How much is just one of these pieces? What is the size of the new pieces? To figure that out, you always think about the whole. It would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It would take 9 copies of this new little piece to make a whole. What does that mean? That is the definition of a ninth. So a third divided by 3, the new size must be a ninth. I want you to play this video several times, pause and rewind and re-listen to the pieces you need until you feel like you can explain back to us how to divide one of these fractions by a whole number. And you always start by imagining an amount and what that means for what the whole must look like. And then you end by thinking about how many pieces of the little one fit into a whole, and that tells you the size of your new little piece. If you want, you can also watch this video of a 4th grader answering the question. He knew the answer immediately, but it took him a while to practice explaining it back to me. However, if we practice that explanation over and over, then you will not forget it in future years. Okay.
A fourth divided by 3.
Now, hold on. Is this the whole candy bar?
No.
Then what is it? How big is the whole candy bar?
It's 1/4 of a candy bar.
Okay. Then where's the whole candy bar?
Somebody, Big Back ate it.
Where would it have ended? Can you kind of point?
That way.
Okay.
To the right.
Can you estimate? Use your fingers to estimate where the full candy bar ends, the whole candy bar ends. Go like this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
So can you cut it into 3 slices?
Okay, so now you want me to cut this fourth into 3 slices. What? And what? Got it? And now what? So now I'm going to color this new piece. Don't measure with your fingers, just think about it. What's the size of the green piece? A fourth divided by
1/12.
1/12? Okay. And how do you know that?
Am I right?
You are, but tell me how you got it.
Because in my brain, I pictured that and then added them over and over to that little line.
How did you figure out this is a 12th? I'm going to say something, you fix me. I think it's an 1/8.
It's a 12 because, no, 12 twelfths.
Ah, and how did you know? Wonderful. And how did you know there would be 12? What made you think about that?
I saw another 3
Another 3,
copies.
like the big copies, the blue ones?
The green one.
Great. And then what did you see after that?
And then I had 2 fourths. And then I did another one of those. And then I did another one. 9 copies.
9 small
9
copies.
small copies.
Uh-huh.
And then I did another one. And I got 12.
Small copies.
12 small copies.
Okay. So, okay. And then how did you know to stop here? Why didn't you do another one?
Because it was only 4 copies I was supposed to do. 4
Copies.
copies of fourth divided by 3.
No, just 12. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. 4 copies of fourth divided by 3. Got it. Okay. So you stopped here because you knew a fourth needs 4 copies to make a whole.
Yeah.
So I see 12 things. So, but how do you know that this is a 12th though?
Because it took 12 of those to make a whole, so it's a 12th.
You did great.